Hello, everybody. Welcome to Run and Code, humor in South Texas law enforcement. I'm your host, T-Bone. With me and always having my back, J-Man.
How's it going, man?
Hey, it's been a great week, brother.
Good. It's good to hear.
Yeah, anything special in your world? Anything happen?
No, nothing significant. I guess to speak about. No, it's been a good week.
All right. Well, since you don't have anything special to talk about, I guess I'll just talk about citizen behavior changes.
Yeah.
Now, you know what that means.
Oh yeah,
All the cops listening know what that means.
Yeah, you're driving. Somebody could be jamming out, or they're just doing something. I guess pretty normal when anybody would do in a car. All of a sudden they see you, and you just happen to look over as they're looking over, and then it's just.
Yep. 10 and 2, looking straight forward, checking their mirrors. If they're holding a phone, it just drops into the floorboard.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just one example of citizen behavior changes. Now, sometimes it is completely innocent. Some people get nervous around law enforcement for no reason. I'm like, if you've done nothing wrong, what are you worried about? And I can tell when someone drives by, they look over at me, and then they just keep driving like I wasn't even there, and they'll still be speeding right on by me. Like they're not hiding anything. They're just like, whatever. And then you have the ones that they start to pass you, realize it's a cop car, and man, all of a sudden that cop car, they slam on the brakes and go 20 car lengths and switch 4 lanes over to the right. Like, nope, I get far away from you, and that's the one now I start watching.
Yeah.
Why? You either have warrants, no license, something's going on that made you get away from me like that, and I'm going to find out what it is, and I'll move over, and I'll start slowing down. I'll take the next one, hit the turnaround, come flying back around. I'm going to find you. What's going on? Why? So, citizen behavior changes, for the public that doesn't understand what that means, is a change in normal behavior based on outside stimuli.
Yeah.
Something triggered that change. It could be as simple as a traffic stop where I walk up, I identify myself, tell them why I stopped them. They're looking me right in the eye. They're speaking to me. I get their license. Is this your name? Yes. Is this your current address? Yes. Or no, I live in a new address. What's your new address? Blah, blah, blah. And then I asked it just a simple question, and we've talked about this before. Where are you coming from? And all of a sudden, their entire behavior changes. Yep. They look down, they look away, they mumble, they won't look you in the eye. That is a significant change in behavior. And the outside stimuli was that question.
Yeah.
It's a problematic question they do not want to answer because they know it opens the door to further problematic questions. And that's what officers need to pay attention to. The change in behaviors. Something is wrong.
Yep.
Now, it could be as simple as they have a ticket warrant and they think they're going to jail right then and there. It could be something significant as they have a warrant for murder, or they got a stolen gun in the car, or they just committed a crime and they think you know, and you have no idea. Or the car's stolen, the plates don't match, and you just haven't checked. And they think you know that already, and you just were too lazy to check the make and the model and the year before you got out of the car to walk up to make sure the plate matched the car. Stuff like that. So there's something driving that change in their behavior. And it's up to you as an officer to dig until you find out why. And it could be completely innocent. Or it could be they're on probation and scared, oh God, I'm on probation, I'm going to get in trouble because you traffic stopped me. You're not going to. If it's a Class C only, you're not going to get in trouble if you're on probation. Probation officers don't care. As long as you report to your probation officer within 48 hours that you had contact law enforcement, you tell them, I got a ticket for speeding. They're not going to care at all. But it could be something as simple as that. But it's a change that is noticeable and abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but we see this all the time. You could be driving down the street. Here comes a car. As soon as they see you, you can tell they're going to go straight at the stop sign. All of a sudden they see you, right turn signal, and they make a hard right. And they take up that way. It would behoove you to follow that car now. Something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it to where you pull up at one house, you're responding to one house. Like this house right here. Let's call it, just throw a number, 2119. The house next door is 2123. You're not there for that house. You're there for that house. But as soon as you get out, all the turds that are in their front yard, they immediately become ghosts and they're gone. Like you blink and they're gone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay. They were up to no good. Something. Because if they weren't, they wouldn't have given a rat's. In fact, they'd stand and stare at you or holler at you or call you names or whatever. So when they disappear, something's off. Now, you obviously are here for a reason. You need to deal with what you got here. But something to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like that might be one to look into. Like, let me pull the address history on this house and see what's going on. Nothing says you can't knock on the door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, y'all okay? Because y'all took off. You're like, everything okay? And you never know what you're going to see out in the open.
Knock and talk.
Knock and talk. And there's nothing wrong with the knock and talk. I've done knock and talks. Just, now, do they have to let me in? No, they don't. Do they have to answer the door? Nope. Nothing requires them to. But if they open the door and they're dumb enough to open it wide and they got a kilo on the coffee table Well, that's plain view now. And you opened the door. I didn't open your door. You opened your door. And that's why I love the body camera. Because when they make that claim, he opened my door. Well, let's play the footage. And there's just me knocking, and you answer the door, and on the camera, you can clearly see the kilo of cocaine sitting on the coffee table. Well, that's on you.
Well, see, that would be a significant behavior change.
Yeah, you'd have to ask, are you that stupid? But some of them are that stupid.
Yeah.
Like the ones that have the meth in the center console when you pull them over, and it's visible right in the center console next to the meth pipe, and you're just looking down at it like, did you even try to hide it?
They did. That's what he hit.
That was their hiding spot.
Like,
the cup holder.
That was their hiding spot.
It boggles the mind. Like, you deserve to go to jail. You didn't even try. Because I would have had no legal reason to search the car until I saw that. Now I have every legal reason to search the car and you and everything because you're dumb enough to leave it in the open. And yes, they are that dumb. You've seen it. I've seen it. Every cop that's been a cop longer than 5 minutes has seen that. You're just like, what is wrong with you?
Some are just funny. Like, I'll see people texting while driving, and they're doing it on, like, busy streets. And I would say at moderate speeds, 45, 50.
Yeah.
And I'll like, if they're driving this fast, I'm just here right with them so I can see them. And I'm paying attention so I'll make sure I'm not, like, going to hit another car.
Yeah, please don't fleet crash.
Yeah, I know, right? And then, because I probably should just be, I probably should just make the traffic stop. But I could look at them and just wait until they notice me.
Yes.
And then I've always had the same funny experience. They'll notice me real quick and just like, and then I just laugh and then I drive off. Because I'm like, I did my job.
You're not traffic, though.
Yeah.
So they did their job. They put it down. And you're fine.
Yeah.
Me, what I do is I take my body camera off and I activate it and I point it and I hold it, watching them on camera texting. So they can't say, no, I wasn't. And they'll be texting for a good 20 seconds before they even look up. Mm-hmm. And 20 seconds on the road, a lot changes in 20 seconds on the road. So once I get that and I got it suffices that, yes, I've got you texting, like legitimately, you can't claim you weren't. Put it back on, back off behind them, light them up. You were texting? No, I wasn't. Oh, yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. Or I was on my maps. This is not your maps. If you're driving with your knee and you're texting with both thumbs, nobody's using their maps with two thumbs when they're typing. Please stop. Or I was going through music while doing this. Come on. We know what it is. Just, you got caught. It is what it is. Last week, schools were getting out, and I just happened to be driving to the neighborhood, and there was a school bus stop and had the red lights out and had the stop sign out. What most people don't know is every one of those buses has cameras.
Yeah.
When those stop signs come out, the cameras activate. So if you pass, they've got your license plate number as you pass.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a long line of cars. I'm just sitting in the line of cars. I'm just watching because there's kids, and I want to make sure nobody, pulls out or kid gets hit or whatever. I'm observing. Car goes right by the school bus. I mean, right by the school bus. I reached up and activated my camera because it goes back 30 seconds, so it'll get that on camera. But as he passed,
that's even worse.
I was like, well,
that ticket
flipped around, and everybody was watching me too. Everybody was watching me watch him. So I couldn't ignore it if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody just saw this, and they see the police officer ignoring it, I'm going to get complaints.
Yeah.
But I need to address this anyway because kids are still getting out. There's going to be other buses. There's going to be other buses driving by. I'm not dealing with that.
Right.
So I flipped around, lit him up, pulled him over. The reason why I stopped you is you were speeding, or not speeding, but you passed the school bus and you're texting. What's going on, man? Oh, I wasn't texting. I watched you as you passed me. Did you see the school bus you passed? No, because you were texting.
Oh, yeah.
So how'd you miss the school bus? And all I do is I just call the school district, ask them what was the number of that bus. So I have the number and I have the footage. And I'll just tell them, hold on to that footage for me, and we'll bring it to traffic court.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll have it clear as day.
Significant behavior change.
And he just flabbergasted. He missed an entire school bus with red flashing lights and a stop sign. How do you miss that?
Yeah, that distracted driving is something else.
And it's incredibly dangerous, which is why it has caused such a significant raise in crashes ever since smartphones came into existence.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of that.
Yeah.
So there's a reason that almost all the states are going to no texting and driving laws. When it first came out, it was usually just a municipal thing. Like, you might have a city code, a city ordinance against it. You get outside the city, whatever.
Right.
Now, I can't think of a state that texting and driving is legal now. I can't. Honestly, I can't. There might be one somewhere. Maybe Alaska. What, are you going to hit a moose? I mean, I don't know. I never know. I don't drive in Alaska, so who knows? But I know that California is a no-no. It's a no-no here. It's a no-no in Montana, where my parents live. It's a no-no in Oregon. It's a no-no in Washington. I can't think of any states that think texting driving is a good idea.
Because it just isn't. Like
It's not.
you operate in heavy machinery and you're distracted with something in your hand. And like you said, 20 seconds, a lot can change. You can
A
miss
lot changes.
At highway speeds, you can miss 2 exits.
That's about 8 football fields at highway speeds. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of road to cover before you hit somebody.
And I've seen it before, people on their phone on the highway. It's insane.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me.
Texas highways, some of them get up to 70 miles an hour. More rural it gets, 80 miles an hour. I'm just like, and no one in Texas does the speed limit. They do like 15 plus the speed limit. That's just a Texas thing.
Yeah, so when I stopped cars, they were going about 20 over, 5 over.
Yeah.
Because if everybody's doing 15, I'm not going to get the one in the back of the pack.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, okay, they're all. Now, is it legal to use the excuse, I was staying at the flow of traffic? No, it is not. You're exceeding the limit.
Right.
But if everybody's doing that same speed, I kind of let it go until I find the one going faster. And you get the one doing 20 over. Okay, now him I'm going to go to. Because typically he's going to be doing 85 or even 90, depending on where he's at.
You'll see it too.
So it's like, okay, now I'm going to stop. And then it's funny. I hear it all the time. I'll be on a major highway that goes to this town. Speed limit is 65. And everyone else is doing around 65, 70 miles an hour. And this car goes by at 95. You get him stopped. I wasn't going that fast. Or I didn't even realize I was going that fast. Bullshit. You know you were going that fast. Anytime I've sped, I knew damn well I was speeding. The speedometer's right in front of you, and if you're passing cars, it's a good indicator you're speeding, unless they're doing 30.
Yeah.
So don't tell me you didn't know you were speeding. You just chose, crossed your fingers, and hope for the best, and then you got caught. So don't tell me you didn't know you were going 95 miles an hour. Because most cars do physically shake a little bit at 95. Even the new ones that are smooth, it's still 95. You can feel it in the frame. Like, come on, dude, you're doing 95.
It's the funny thing too is just like we talk about behavior changes, especially for people who are speeding and they finally notice you. Oh man, the inevitable, just the deceleration. It may even slam on the brakes.
Yeah, I've seen
and
that.
then they turn into like they got like a driver's ed instructor in the passenger seat. You don't drive that good. And it always seems to happen when you really have to go somewhere. Everybody's the world's greatest driver when you have to be somewhere.
Yep.
And it's insane.
And that's why I like the traffic vehicle I use, because it's subdued marked. You can't really tell unless you pick out the push bars and the spotlight. For the most part, though, it's completely subdued. You can't really tell it's a police car. And that's where you see the true drivers. Because when you're in a marked car, everybody around you is a perfect driver the whole way.
Yeah.
Everybody's perfect. Everybody's 10 and 2, and nobody's touching nothing. Everybody's got their seatbelts on all of a sudden. Now, I will tell you this about seatbelts. I don't typically stop people for drivers not wearing seatbelts. You want to go through the windshield? That's your business. But passengers and children not restrained, especially children not restrained, I'm stopping that car. We're having a talk about that. If you don't care about you, I don't care. I care about your child. And I don't need you were buckled, but your kid wasn't. You get into a crash. The child goes to the windshield. You don't have a scratch.
Right.
That bothers the hell out of me. I pulled over a car the other day, and, that was the one with the license plates are fake. License plates are fake. I ran them, made sure, but I already knew they were fake. The split second I saw them, I knew they were fake. I was already lighting them up before I even ran the plate because I could tell it was fake immediately. I mean, there was nothing legitimate about this plate. Pulled him over, walk up on the car. He's got no seatbelt. She's got no seatbelt. She's holding an infant in her lap, and the car seat's next to her. I'm like, now I had to do the whole traffic stop in Spanish because he's from Venezuela, had no license. Car was not insured, had not registered it. He did have his Venezuelan passport, so at least I could identify him. But I said, what's going on with the child not in the car seat, man? Oh, yeah, we just left the house. I don't know why people feel that's a very comfortable excuse, because that's always the excuse I hear when children are not in car seats or seatbelts or booster seats. Well, I just live right there. Or I was just coming from here. Or it's a quick trip. Are you in less danger on a quick trip? Like, that child will get hurt or killed.
Yeah.
I mean, their little body will bounce around that car. Like, what is it you don't understand about this? If the car's doing 60 and it comes to a stop, the child's still doing 60 until it hits an object harder than it.
Yeah.
Like, what don't you get about this? So, and they always get pissed off when you give tickets for kids not in car seats. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're not getting a warning. I don't think I've ever given a warning for that. And it's in my other car. Because where's your car seat? It's in the other car. Always in the other car. Then get it out of that car and put it in this one.
Yeah.
And I've made parents get out with a child and walk. I'm not letting you drive off with that child not being restrained. Or you have someone bring a car seat or booster seat right now. Well, there's no one home. Then I guess you're walking back to the house. Didn't you say it was right around the corner? So maybe you should walk back with that child. You drive over there, meet them, put the car seat in the car, put the child securely in the car seat, and then enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm always the bad guy for that. Don't care. I'll sleep like a baby with you hating my guts because I made you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because one time I don't, and I decide to let you drive off with that child not restrained because I gave you the ticket and felt that was good, that'll be the crash. And that traffic stop will come back to haunt me in more than one way.
Yeah.
I'll be sued by the parents that survive because you allowed us to leave, or I'll be barbecued by my own agency.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, not happening. So this gentleman, I said, well, put the kid in the car seat. Let's go. She puts the top strap on the child. The bottom strap has no buckle. There's nothing to even connect the seat at all. And she thought that was good. So she ran, there was a strap, but it didn't have the buckle. Mm-hmm. So she ran it over the top and just tied it. I was like, oh no. Get out. Take your child, get out of the car. Nope. You're going to walk. Call someone. Oh no. I ended up towing the car anyway because the license plate was fake. I'm registered. I had no license. I ended up taking the car.
Right.
I just took the car, but initially it was just get out of the car. I'd made a decision on that one, but there was no way he was driving off with that child, that infant. And I mean, she could have been more than 9 months old, maybe a year, but I'm pretty sure it's about
that's too risky.
9 months. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, that's too
And she wasn't wearing a seatbelt either. So she'd be holding that child in a crash. They both go through the windshield.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like,
her body tensing up against the baby, she may even
crush the baby.
Yeah, just out of the sheer reaction.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, these car seats exist for a reason. We didn't invent them for fun or to make money. We invented them to protect these children. So 0 to 5 is a car seat, 5 to 9 is a booster seat, or 6 to 9 is a booster seat, or 80 pounds. I think it's 80 pounds. Those exist for a reason. Booster seats elevate the child so that the seatbelt goes correctly across their shoulder like this and not across the side of their body like this.
Yeah, because they can't be below a certain height, I believe, either.
Yeah. So I can't remember what the height is off the top of my head. Shame on me as a traffic officer not knowing that off the top of my head. But 0 to 5 is a car seat.
Mm-hmm.
So end of story. And I'll see it all the time. There'll be 5 kids all sitting down on the back seat. I'm like, that's like, I start having a stroke, like a mini stroke. My eye starts twitching. And they're looking at me like, what? I had to pick them up from school. One, you can't have more people in a car than our seatbelts. So if it's a 5-seater with 5 seatbelts, you can have 5 people in the car. 2, every one of those children needs to be in a car seat. Every one of them. Well, I don't have that many. Then stop having kids. This is not hard math. Stop having kids if you can't afford a car seat. Stop having kids. You're going to get hurt. Or one of these children is going to get hurt. And it is too late when you're standing over your child crying on the highway. It's too late. And any officer has heard this, the sound of a grieving mother, it's not something you'll ever forget.
Yeah.
But this is completely avoidable. Because I've seen children that were securely belted in car seats. The buckle is supposed to be here, by the way. For the parents that are listening and watching this, the buckle does not go down here. The buckle goes up here on the breastbone of the child, on the breastplate. That's where that buckle goes, right there. Mm-hmm. The strap should have just enough to get about 2 to 3 fingers underneath the strap, and that's it. You should not be able to get your whole hand underneath that strap. That is to hold that child in place. Think of a racing harness. Keeps you in place.
Yeah.
I've seen kids without a scratch in serious rollover crashes because they were actually seat belted correctly and restrained correctly. Not a scratch on the kid. Other than they're scared shitless.
Yeah.
Not a scratch. Why is this hard math? Why do people not understand this and realize the danger they're putting themselves and their kids in? I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's just cutting corners. I mean, there's like nothing that is in place that is making that like a regulated behavior. So if there was like a checkpoint, like at some point where we're just strictly checking for seatbelts and things like that, maybe that would bring the awareness up a little bit, but nah.
Have you ever seen those sting programs where it'll be an officer in civilian clothes with a reflective vest on and a hard hat and a sign, and on the sign it will say, "I'm a police officer checking for seatbelts." People don't read them. And it's an officer watching the car, and they'll get on the radio and go, "Hey, white Mazda, no seatbelt on the child in the back seat." And the car pulled over. And they're like, "How'd you see that?" That's a cop right there. They had a sign. Did you read the sign? Said, I'm a Phoenix Metro police officer, and I am observing seatbelt violations. You didn't read the sign, did you? That's not legal. Oh yeah, it is. It's in public view. He didn't do anything wrong. He has to be in uniform. No, he doesn't.
That's different. I never heard of that.
People who don't wear seatbelts, that is a learned behavior.
Yeah.
Because if it's an ingrained behavior, you'll never drive without a seatbelt. It'll go on before you move the car. It just won't be conscious thought. You'll sit down and So people are like, oh, I forgot it today. No, you don't wear your seatbelts. You normally do not wear your seatbelt. This is a normal behavior for you. You didn't forget it today. It's normal behavior. Or when the kids don't wear seatbelts, that's a learned behavior.
Yeah.
You're not enforcing this with these children. And I'll talk to the kids, and they're old enough. Like, I won't talk to a 2-year-old, obviously.
Yeah.
But when they're 6 or 7, I'll say, hey, make sure you wear your seatbelt because it's very dangerous. You might get a crash and get an owie. Trying to relate to a child, Like teenagers, I'm like, you got to wear a seatbelt, dude. Come on, put your seatbelt on. Come on, man. Let's use this, all right? Oh, I'm sorry, put it on. The other one, though, the other behavior change, though, is when they take their seatbelt off when you stop them.
Oh,
that
yeah,
I do not like.
I don't like that either.
And I go,
you're
hey,
getting ready to run. You're
yes,
reaching over to grab
ready
or conceal
run.
something.
Yep.
No.
Or that door's starting to crack.
We don't do those.
Zzz. Gun on my lap, PA. Close that door now.
Mm-hmm.
Something. If that door don't close, start me another unit.
Yep.
Something's wrong. Now you're coming out at gunpoint. Yep. Something is wrong.
I don't know if you've seen it on TikTok. It's like a trend where they're like, it's people who are like getting pulled over, or they're starting with their hands up like this, and then it'll say something dumb like telling the officer it's his last day on the job because I signed his retirement papers, and it shows him reaching into a jacket and doing this. That should just stay a TikTok trend. Shouldn't even be a trend. But yeah, no. Significant behavior changes that's going to lead to somebody getting hurt. Like, it's just crazy. I don't know.
What I tell people is this. One, you don't pull to the left on traffic stop. You always pull to the right. But people will stop in the middle of the lane. They'll pull over to the left on a shoulder that's this wide, so half their car's in the fast lane. And I'll get in the PA, get off the highway. Get off the highway. Then finally they'll hear me and they'll get off the highway. I'm like, what are you doing? You pull to the right. Oh, I see it all the time. Doesn't mean it's okay. That's where we get killed, is the fast lane. Get off the highway. Or if they got a huge right side shoulder, perfect. I mean wide. Where I can, and I'll go up on the passenger side because I'm not going to get sideswiped by a car on the way by. But they'll immediately take their seatbelt off, start rummaging around in the car, and I'm like, nope. And I stop at the trunk of the car until I can see what they're doing. Hey, do me a favor, put your seatbelt back on for me. What? Put your seatbelt back on for me. What I tell them is, because I don't want someone losing control coming in and slamming into us. But the other reason is I know they're going to stay in the car because they're going to want to run. The first thing they're going to do is take that seatbelt off. So it's when they will not put their seatbelt back on, I don't like that.
Have you ever had somebody stop in the triangular space usually?
Yes.
From the
between the entrance,
between
the entrance ramp and like lane
ramp?
3 or 4. Hate that because I got traffic from both sides coming on. I'm like,
nothing that grinds my gears more than that. And then you get on the PA and they can't hear you, so you got to get out and talk to them.
What I do is I pull up next to them. Get off the highway now. And then they'll take the next exit to get off the highway. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're going to get us killed. Well, I had to stop immediately. No, you stop where safe. Stop in the closest safe place. Don't make me follow you to your house. No. That's going to tick me off. I got to follow you all the way home. That happened to me the other day. The gal just kept driving, passing, and it was a residential neighborhood, so she could have pulled over any open spot against the curb. She just keeps going, and I'm like, where are you going? And I finally got on the PA and said, do not pass another safe place. But I said, do not pass another safe place.
Yeah.
So I walk up and I said, where are you going? Well, I live right around the corner. No, this is not home base. What are you doing? And she had her husband on speaker. And I said, did you think your husband was going to save you? You were the one doing 55 in a 30. I'm like, no one's saving you from that ticket. That's 25 over and school's out. Just got out. There's kids on the sidewalks. Like, no, hell no. And we all know kids just dart out in the street.
Yeah.
And if you see a ball roll out in the street, you better start slamming the brakes because kids coming after that ball.
Whenever I see kids playing with any type, like just playing in general, I reduce my speed to maybe 15
miles an hour.
Because it just,
I'm not in a hurry anyway. So who cares?
Going home. Going home.
Yeah, I'm just,
Yeah.
all right. And besides, they got to get past me, the traffic behind me.
Yeah.
So I don't care if they like it or not. If there's kids out and they're playing, I'm doing 10, 15 miles an hour. I have nowhere that important I need to be.
Yeah.
And I have no problem doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And people will get mad and they'll see the kids and you'll see their change in behavior. Because they're behind you, man, they're flapping their arms and all of a sudden they see the kids and two hands.
All of a sudden they're sending nice Christmas cards.
Yep.
There
That
you
officer
go.
was very polite, or that officer, yeah.
He's looking out for the kids because I'm not.
You ever seen the movie The Invention of Lying?
No.
There's a scene where the officer pulls over the guy, and they can't lie. Like, nobody is capable of lying. In the movie, the whole society cannot physically lie. They have no way to lie. Everything's the truth no matter what. So he asks the officer, he's like, what's going on with you? He goes, I just did a line of blow, and I'm going to give you this ticket so I look good for the boss or whatever. I said, that's hilarious. I don't think we want that much honesty in society, but the point of that was the officer just blurted out the truth. I've never had a citizen. You've seen Liar Liar with Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah, that's a
where
great movie.
The cop pulls him over and he goes, I stopped you, and it was running a red light and speeding. And then anything else, and he pops up in the glove box and all these unpaid parking tickets fall out. Now, I have had people overly share.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please stop. Please stop. Please definitely stop. That information I do not need, nor did I ask for it. And now I'm going to be scarred. So please stop talking.
Yeah.
You've had that. I know you've had that.
I've had it.
They overly share, like, hello, the reason why I stopped you is you're speeding. Oh, yeah, because I got to go to the bathroom really bad. I just had surgery, and I'm going to make it. I just came to my friend's house, and we're going. I'm like, stop. I didn't need all that.
Yeah.
Just give me your license real quick, and I'll get you out of here as fast as I can. But then I got to, and I'm just like,
I've been told.
I'm now being ear raped on the side of the highway. Just like,
I've been told by the driver that I have a face that people just. I look like I have a face that people just want to tell things to, and I'm like, what kind of face is that?
I would tell you anything.
I'm like, what kind of face is that?
I feel
I've never
very
heard
safe
that.
with you.
I've heard people having approachable faces, or you look like a dick, or something like that. I've never somebody heard like I got the lasso of truth before a face. Like, it makes no sense. You shouldn't want to tell anybody anything that you don't trust.
I feel safe with you.
Oh,
I feel like I could tell you anything. I feel like I could curl up in your arms and be safe.
Whatever look that is, maybe I'll pack it. I don't know. I'll make it a mask or something, and people just wear it. Like, I don't know.
Oh man,
I don't know what that would be. What face that looks like? Maybe put it on a portrait, and it could be just as famous as the Mona Lisa.
Me, I try to keep a neutral face on traffic stops or citizen contacts. Not always successful. I don't know how many times I've had to really try to bite my tongue not to laugh, and I'm just like, it will make it worse. Like, they'll flip out. But I'm just like trying really hard not to laugh. And as the older I get, the less I restrain that. Like, you say something funny or stupid, I'm gonna laugh because that's funny or stupid. I'm human and that's funny, and I'm gonna laugh. And they get mad. I'm like, well, you said it.
Somebody's made me laugh before. I'm like, hey, just because of that, you're getting a warning. Be right back.
It depends.
I've had that happen before. Like, if it's like a really funny reason to why they have done something, why they haven't fixed something, like an equipment violation or like a movement violation, and it's not horrific, I'm like, oh, okay. You know what? That was pretty fun. That was pretty good. Here you go. I'll show some some discretion on that.
So I had a traffic stop last week. The gal was doing 90 plus by me on the highway going outside of town, and I pull her over, and I walk up, and she is just freaking out. I'm like, okay, not that big a deal. Are you okay? And she goes, I just got a text from an active shooter alert in the next town. And I was like, okay, well, how are you going to help? But I understood it. As a parent, I understand. Her first instinct is to go to where her child's in danger. So I get it. Mm-hmm. But it was getting across to her, what are you going to do? If you're getting the alert, I guarantee you they already know. Mm-hmm. Law enforcement's already on scene. Everybody's already there. But to make her get a little feel better, I called the Intel Center here. I said, hey, is there an active threat up there? And they said, it's already a hoax. They've already figured out it's a hoax. They should be getting all clear text any minute. Okay. But she showed me the text she got. So I understood it.
Yeah.
So I looked at her record, clean driving record. You know what? I can comfortably give a warning.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't driving like that to be an asshole. She wasn't driving like that just because she didn't care about the public or wanted to be reckless. Her child's in danger, which overrides everything in your system. I get it. So I just told her, I said, look, in the future, 1, don't rush to the scene because you can't help. I said, 2, you're not going to be able to help anybody crash
Yeah.
at that speed. Now, that's a hoax, but you're actually hurt
Right.
versus the other way around.
Right.
So please don't do that. And she took it well, and I said, "Just do me a favor, stay here, calm down a little bit, let your blood pressure come down a little bit before you start driving." And I said, "Just go back to work." I said, "It's a hoax." And then it did. It came on the news a couple days later that the kid just didn't want to take a test and called in a hoax, bomb threat. It's like, that's all it was. But could it be serious? It could have been.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And we take every single one of those threats seriously
Have
until
to.
proven otherwise. But that one was proven to be a fake.
Yeah. You have
But
to.
I didn't feel like I could I give her a ticket? Yes, black and white. Under the law, I absolutely could give her a ticket. Should I? No. What purpose does that serve? There's the letter of the law and there's the spirit of the law.
Mm-hmm.
You can obey the letter of the law and violate the spirit of the law.
Right.
Because you have to look at what is the penalty supposed to fix? What's it supposed to solve?
Yeah.
In this case, she has a clean driving record. So she's not a habitual offender. Like if I had pulled her record and it was 35 speeding violations behind her, she'd probably be getting another one. Because clearly she does that no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay. On the other hand, she got a clean driving record. Giving her a ticket, did justice get served?
Yeah.
Probably not. Because that's not her normal mode of behavior. She did it out of the same thing we would all do. If that had been real, we'd all been heading that way running 100 plus miles an hour to get there. Because we'd have been notified too. So, and there's law, available law enforcement. When Uvalde happened, I was going that way doing about $130 down the highway. And then they called and said, he's 1042, you can kill it. Oh, turn around, came back. I didn't want to get anywhere near that situation. No reason for me to be there. So it's an understandable reaction. Well, we all want to protect kids. We all love kids. Kids, that's in our DNA to protect children. That's why we love puppies and kittens and children, because you're genetically want to protect them because you know that they're vulnerable. So that's going to be your drive. So justice would not have been served by giving her the ticket.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
Nah. So there's letter of the law, spirit of the law. I try to go with the spirit of the law and use common sense more than the letter of the law. Some don't give you a choice. You violate a protective order.
Ain't no such thing as spirit of
There's
law.
no spirit of the law on that one.
Spirit is the arrest.
An officer shall arrest.
Yeah. That's the spirit
Shall
right there. That's the spirit.
Arrest an offender and take before a magistrate who violates a protective order in their presence.
Yep.
There's no wiggle on that at all. There's no maybes. There's no what about. No, there is no what abouts. He's there in front of you. She's right there. Violated. Yep. That's it. End of story. But tickets are very discretionary.
Yes.
Now you should remember from the basic police academy, always arrest for the highest offense. You always arrest. Okay, because that's not your job to make that distinction. That's letter of the law. Spirit of the law. If I pull you over and you're just some 18-year-old kid and you have a doobie, nothing is going to be served by me running you downtown on a Class B misdemeanor.
Yeah.
None. I'm going to pre-camera, flick it in the road, crush it. Get out of here. Because what's served by taking them in? Nothing. It's a waste of my time. Now, meth, coke, heroin, fentanyl, totally different story. But a doobie? Come on, man. That's a waste of my time. That's spirit of the law, letter of the law. The spirit of the law is to prevent crime, to lower the crime rate.
Right.
What's it going to solve? What crime rate am I going to lower by running this 18-year-old in on a doobie this big? Nothing. But what I can do is get him out of here, and I can actually look for more serious crimes.
Yes.
Because every arrest, even if you're lightning quick, is still half an hour to the jail. Still got to book him in. Still got to write the report. Still got to turn that to the ADA. By the time I get out, even on a lower Class B, it's still at least a 2-hour process. You are off the street.
Yeah.
And that's if you're lightning quick. Just bang it out. Not letter of the law, spirit of the law. So I tell trainees, you have to learn to use your best judgment. You will know what's important and what's not. Protective order, no choice. Don't even think about it. He's going. Family violence, they're going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, none of this, that's mutual, go your separate ways. I don't care if you're getting off shit in 5 minutes. If there's been a verified domestic violence, you take them. Man or woman, whoever was the aggressor, take them. You don't have a choice there. You don't, and you leave, and he or she kills the other, and you were just there, you ain't going to be a cop past that night. Because they're going to find out you were there an hour prior and didn't arrest him. Yeah, you're going to have a huge problem. And in today's of cameras,
you might even get charged,
you
too.
might very well be charged with manslaughter. Could possibly criminally negligent homicide.
Yeah.
You very well could be. because you failed in your duty to act. Because we all have what's called a duty to act. You failed your duty to act.
Yeah.
You're not a civilian as an officer. You have to act. You chose to take this job knowing that that was your job. And if you forfeit that by not doing it, then you forfeit your right to wear a badge.
Yep.
So, but that's my 2 cents.
No, yeah, for sure.
You know, if you feel any different, tell me. But I know you, and I know you don't.
Yeah, no.
You know, it's a crazy world out there, brother. So, but that's citizen behavior change. Everybody, you can, even non-cops, parents with children, you know your kid. And when they lie to you or they're doing something they're not supposed to, you as a parent can see it immediately. It's no different for us. We can see the change immediately in behavior. We just know how to articulate it and pick up on it immediately. And our job is to take what doesn't make sense and ask questions until it makes sense. And if it still doesn't make sense, they're lying to you. Because eventually everything will make sense some way or another.
Yep.
If you ask the right question. So but that goes back to interdiction when we had the episode on interdiction. The change in behaviors. Asking the questions until I either get probable cause to search the car or they admit it's there, or I can detain him, get a canine. There's something going on here. And I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Mainly because your behaviors changed when I started asking problematic questions that you did not want to answer. Coming from Laredo is always a problematic question or a problematic answer if you got drugs in the car. So, brothers, sisters, I hope you paid attention to this, and I hope you bear in mind what I talk about. Those behavior changes, if you observe them and pay attention to them, could save your life. They really could. If they mean you harm, the warning signs are there. You see the warning signs, you're just not picking up on it. Start paying attention to what they're doing when you talk to them. Pay attention to your surroundings. Watch the cars around you when they pass you and realize you're an officer and the way they react. Pay attention to that. Either if they're laissez-faire about it, okay, maybe not. But if all of a sudden they look scared shitless, there's a reason. Pay attention to that. Regular citizens out there, we're not going to hurt you. That's not our goal. We're traffic stopping. There's no reason to be scared. We're going to come up, tell you who we are, tell you why we stopped you, ask for your license, registration, insurance, verify some information, come back with a warning or ticket, get you on your way. The average traffic stop is 3 to 5 minutes at the most.
Yeah.
There's no reason to shake like a baby rattle. None. This is not 1980 Los Angeles. We're going to pull you out of the car and beat you. That's not going to happen. So relax, everybody. Just relax. We're human too. Okay, we just want to go home at the end of the day like you want to go home. So the more wired you are, the more it's going to wire us because we want to know what's going on. That gets our antennas up, so to speak. So citizens, please, just relax. Just talk to us like humans. We'll talk to you back the same way. Maybe not all officers, and you can call the internal affairs for that agency if you feel you're mistreated. By and large, most officers are pretty pleasant unless you give them a reason not to be. So, Jamie, do you have anything to add on this?
No, that's, I think you hit all the nails on the head. I think we covered a lot of good stuff.
I think we did too. So, again, listeners, please check out our YouTube channel, Run and Code. This episode will be up in video format as well. It'll also be available on the podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, all the major podcast platforms. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, tell the people about it. We want people to be educated, we want people to get a good laugh, but be educated as well. So using humor to drive home a point, make sure you remember it. And I got nothing else to add. Brothers and sisters, watch your back. Everybody else have a great week, and we're out of here.